This is Pavel from the Genkit team, and in this video I'd like to quickly talk about how to work with MCP in Genkit. So what is MCP? MCP is a standardized way to provide LLMs access to custom tools and resources. And MCP also comes with an ecosystem of servers that are available out of the box. They're hosted solutions, but imagine you have a need to do something custom, custom data. You have like a custom database or some kind of a custom use case that cannot be solved by an out-of-the-box solution. So, and maybe like just to maybe set the context here, in this example, completely made up, imagine I'm like in sort of an agency building websites for small businesses. And like here, we have a schema defined for an order. So we just have a database of orders where we, orders come in and we have an ID of an order and the name of the business. Here we're collecting a color scheme for that business. So like if we're building a website, we want to know what the color scheme is. There's like an email and there's a job description and an address of the business in question. So and the job description here contains kind of the detailed description of what kind of website to build, what details to put in there, and we're actually putting a bunch of details here in the description. And I'll be putting all of that into Firestore. And here I'm just defining a couple of helper tools, sort of flows for me just to kind of help me work with those orders. And I have a flow here to just get the orders that are in Firestore. And here I have, not a real business here. So I need to populate some real looking data. So, and I'll be using a library called Genthetic. So you can actually just install it from npm. It's called Genthetic. And and this library allows you to easily generate, synthetic data. And it's using Genkit, which is really cool. And here in this flow, we are defining, setting up this order synthesizer, and we're just basically going to be saying, hey, use the schema that we just defined up there, and here's some instructions. I'm just basically telling it to, we're going to be building websites and generate realistic looking data, but not too real, so that it's obviously fake data. We don't, like, the intent is not to fool anyone here. So, and here we're going to go run the synthesizer and say generate 20 orders in a batch of 5, and here we're just going to get those orders and we're going to write them to orders collection. And here I just have like a one that I generated myself. I'm just also adding it to the Firestore. Actually, like, before we go any further, let's just go run this quickly. So I'm just gonna run this with Genkit start. And we're going to get the developer UI here. I'm going to go into my flows, and first I'm going to go run this populate orders flow so that it writes all of that into Firestore. It's going to take a second. Okay, so here we see that this is the data that it generated. We're seeing some examples here: Sunshine Bakery. The address, and this is the color scheme, and this is the website sort of description. This is looking good, and now, so using the get orders, we can actually go and read from Firestore just to make sure that actually need to run this in streaming mode. Here we're actually reading from Firestore, and we can actually see all those orders just to make sure that they are there. Okay, cool. So now we have our orders database populated. So now getting to MCP. So actually, like, I want to give a coding agent that helps me build those websites access to this data, so that I can just basically tell to my coding agent, hey, go build a website for this order ID. And so what we're going to do is just create a tool and there's get order info, and it just retrieves order info. And here we're just basically going to read from Firestore, from our orders collection, that order by the order ID, and it's going to return that data as JSON. So like we've seen here. So for example, if we ask, give me the detail, give me order this A0737148, it's just going to return this this JSON blob, and going to provide all the necessary information. And now we just basically want to expose this as an MCP server. So there's two things that we're going to use for this. One is in Genkit MCP plugin, and you can find details about this. Like if you go to Genkit documentation and go to the JS API reference, there's a reference for the Genkit X MCP plugin, and if you like scroll down, you can see how to set up an MCP server. And here, like you see that, how to define a tool or a prompt, and this is how you instantiate a server. And we're just basically going to go ahead and just do that. So here we're creating the MCP server. And then we also need to expose it as an HTTP server, basically. So we're going to look at the MCP documentation here, and there's documentation how to create a server sent event transport. It's using Express, so we're just basically going to take this as is. We're going to skip the server creation because the Genkit MCP plugin will create a server for us. We're just going to use an existing server, but we're going to take this Express code for how to wire that transport into our code. So in here we're creating that Express, and the server we're just going to get, instead of creating a new one, we're just going to use this MCP server that we created from the Genkit plugin. And that's basically it. So, and we already ran this, so it's already running. And to test this out, we're going to try and use Cline. Cline is an open source sort of coding agent. So we're going to go and in Cline into this MCP servers tab, into the remote servers, and we're gonna give this a name like an order server, or orders, doesn't matter. So it's going to be a HTTP localhost, and we're running on port 3000 and /SSE is the service sent event endpoint, and we're going to add the server, and we see that it added, and green, it's successful, that it can successfully connect it to the server, and we see that it actually now can see our get order info tool, and you see there's just the parameter with the order ID. So basically right here. So if we just go and for fun, maybe just update this, say we want to change the formatting for these examples. We're going to save this and just quickly restart the server. We can go and refresh this, and you see it picked up the new formatting with our backticks and the colon here. So basically it picks up our tool definitions that are defined with Genkit. Okay, now we're gonna go and try this out. Let's go maybe pick an order that kind of looks interesting. So city cycles. I was looking for a website to rent bikes. Okay, this looks fine. We're gonna copy paste this order ID, and we're going to go into Cline here and say build a website using information from order ID. Okay, let's run this in plan mode. Yeah, for some reason it gets confused about the format. Let's say it's a say valid order ID. Go ahead. Okay, now it says, okay, I'm going to read this from the, I'm going to use this tool, this MCP tool. We're going to approve this. And you see it returned, this is the blob, the JSON info. And you see here it's planning our website for the styling. And here, maybe let's see, okay, so for the styling, you see it's using our the colors. I guess here the text color, it's going to match, an accent, highlight, and okay, so now it says, okay, if you want to go ahead, we're just going to say act, and it's going to start building the website. It's creating created a folder with city cycles. Yeah, sure, let's save this. Yeah, again, and we can set it to auto approve, so it basically can kind of go ahead and just do its thing without having to confirm with us every time. Okay, the task completed, and we can maybe go ahead and like a preview. And yeah, this is the website that it built. There's like some rental options and all that stuff, and sending inquiry. One thing, like, because we're using Genkit, like all this tool calling is like we can actually go see traces. And for example, like here, we see this was the tool call from Cline, and we can actually go like and easily debug this. So this is the tool call for this order, and this is the information that it returned. So yeah, this is kind of how easy it is to build custom MCP tools and use them with MCP compatible agents. Thanks.